Good afternoon. This is call number 2020-24108 in the interest of Ethan Ray Skinner. Please raise your right hand to be sworn, man. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, ma'am. Please state your name and your relationship to the child.
Deaja Wheeler, and I'm the mother.
All right. And representing the Attorney General, State of Texas?
Kavita Sharma, Your Honor.
Court will note that the non-custodial parent is Ernest Ray Skinner, Jr. Mr. Skinner was personally served on August 6th, 2022 at 12:05 p.m. at 3027 Rusty Bridge Court in Spring, Montgomery County, Texas. He has not made an appearance or filed an answer. Is that correct, Ms. Sharma?
That is correct, Your Honor.
We'll proceed by default.
Yes, Judge. I would like to call Deaja Wheeler, the mother.
Okay.
Ms. Wheeler, in regards to your child, Ethan Ray Skinner, who is the father?
Ernest Skinner.
And are you asking the court to name him as the biological father of the child?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court to name you both as joint conservators?
Yes.
And does your child live with you?
Yes.
Are you asking the court to allow you to maintain the child's primary residence?
Yes.
And how is your child covered under health insurance?
By my employer.
And how much do you pay a month only for your child for medical?
$200.
And do you agree to maintain that health insurance for your child?
Yes.
Does that also include dental and vision?
Yes.
Okay. And are you asking the court to the court to name you both as joint conservators? Did I already ask you that? I'm sorry. There seems to be some feedback. Okay. And are you asking the court to set standard visits for you and for the child and Mr. Skinner?
Yes.
And do you already have an agreement of pickup and drop off?
Yes.
And where is that?
At his sister's.
And what's that address?
3027 Rusty Bridge Court in Spring, Texas.
And do you know where Mr. Skinner is employed currently?
No.
And do you know if he has any other children that he has to provide support to?
Yes.
And how many children does he have?
3.
And do you understand that we only have a court order where he has to pay for one child?
Yes.
So going forward, we're only giving him credit for that one child because there's no other obligation, correct?
Correct.
And are you asking the court to set child support and medical support based on minimum wage?
Yes.
And because there is a cap at what we can charge, you understand that the court is going to order cash medical support at $50 a month beginning November 1?
Yes.
And do you understand that for dental insurance, the court is going to order that he reimburse $6 a month beginning November 1?
Yes.
And you agree to pay any uncovered health costs and continue to carry the health insurance through your employer?
Yes.
And are you asking the court to set current child support at $190 a month beginning November 1?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking for back child support from August 16th of 2019 until today?
Yes.
Would that judgment amount also be based on minimum wage in the amount of $7,410?
Yes.
And are you asking the court to set a payout at $87 a month?
Yes.
And if court costs are billed, do you want to pay them or should Mr. Skinner?
Mr. Skinner.
And you reviewed and signed this order today?
Yes, I did.
Thank you, Judge. I pass this witness.
All right, the court will approve the order submitted. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. Wheeler,
Thank
you are
you.
free to
Parties
go.
excused.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, would you like to do the default hearing first or the contested hearing
The
first?
Murphy hearing?
Okay, that sounds good. Ms. Richardson, if you can hear me, you'll need to turn on your video and your audio.
Okay.
Is she on video? Yeah, Ms. Richardson.
Yes, I'm on the. Hold on, I'm trying to turn it on. I have to
Okay, we
allow it.
need to turn that on.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
Okay, I can see you. All right, this is cause number 2022-36688 in the interest of Janaea and Adela Murphy. Adea Murphy. Please raise your right hand to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes,
Please state your name and your relationship to the children.
Andronika Richardson, and I'm the mother.
All right, and representing the State of Texas Attorney General's office.
Luis Regla.
Court will note that the non-custodial parent is James Lee Murphy Jr. Mr. Murphy was personally served on August 4th, 2022 at 5:54 p.m. at 3271 Shaver Street, apartment 7208 in Pasadena, Harris County, Texas. And he has not filed an answer or made an appearance. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
We'll proceed by default.
Thank you, Judge. I'll call the mother in this case.
Okay.
Ms. Richardson, when your two daughters were born, both you and the father signed some paperwork admitting that he is their true biological father. Do you recall that?
Yes,
Okay. And going forward, you're requesting that the court appoint you and the father in this case as a joint managing conservators, but giving you the exclusive right to determine where the girls live.
yes,
And you're fine with the father getting a standard possession schedule, is that right?
yes,
He does make an effort to try and see the daughters, and y'all are able to co-parent, is that true?
yes,
Okay. Right now, your daughters have Medicaid, is that right?
yes,
And we know that the father has two other children that are his and that are living with him in his home. Is that true?
yes,
Okay. Now, he is not currently working and we don't have any kind of proof of income for him. So we're proposing to use minimum wage today. Is that correct?
yes,
And going forward, then, do you agree with the court that with the state that the court should order him to pay guideline child support for the two daughters you have, apart from the two other children that live in his home, based on minimum wage?
yes,
And going forward, are you also in agreement with the state that the court should order Mr. Murphy to pay you $57 a month for medical support beginning November 1st, 2022?
yes.
What type of insurance do your children have, ma'am?
They have Medicaid.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, Judge. And based on the minimum wage we've talked about, the current child support against Mr. Murphy should be $224 to begin November 1st, 2022. Is that correct?
Yes,
Now, you're requesting retroactive back to the 4 years from June of 2018. Is that right?
yes,
Mr. Murphy hasn't had regular employment during that time, so we're at least going to use guideline child support based on minimum wage. Is that correct?
yes,
The girls haven't lived with him for any kind of significant time during that time period,
no,
and he hasn't given you any money for child support during those 4 years. Is that true?
no, he has not.
Okay, so then guideline child support entirely based on minimum wage for those roughly 52 months.
Next case.
236. That total is $12,272. Would you agree with that?
Yes,
And all that entirely based on minimum wage. The monthly payment should be $111 to begin November 1st, 2022. Would you agree with that as well?
yes,
And you have no issue with him knowing your address or phone number or anything like that, correct?
no issue.
And do you think today's court order is in the best interest of your daughters?
Yes,
And you're asking the court to approve of this default order today.
yes.
Judge, I'll pass this witness.
All right, the court will approve the order submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Okay, Ms. Richardson, you can disconnect now.
All right.
Is this the Pete matter? Is that what's up?
Yes, Coroner and Pete.
All right. Are these
Mhm.
people on?
Yes, let me make sure they're aware. Can each of you press *6 to unmute yourself, please?
Here. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
All right. This is cause number 2022-25190 in the interest of Tevin Pete. All parties and witnesses, please raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the child.
My name is Pilar Pete. I'm Kevin's mom.
All right, sir, your name and your relationship to the child.
Stephen Corner, and I'm the father.
And representing the Attorney General's office, state of Texas.
Luis Regla.
Mr. Regla, we have a petition to establish parent-child relationship. We were having a hearing today, is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Do we have any stipulations?
Judge, that's what we're approaching on. The parties, the mother is saying she doesn't want the $333 in child support from this man. You want the court to order no child support. They can figure it out among themselves. So we're approaching for that, for the court to actually order child support at the $333 per month, which is guideline child support. And that's why we're approaching.
All right, Ms. Pete, you're asking for no child support?
Yes. I tried to cancel the child support order at the beginning of this year. I've spoke with someone from the Attorney General office more than once, and so did Dad. She stated that at the hearing today that we will be able to close the child support case if we had the baby on private insurance. So Dad put the baby on private insurance at his job. He pays me every week child support, and it works better that way because when he paid me, I pay child care. So I have to wait on you guys to send money, then I'm not going to be able to work. So we really just want to close out the whole child support case because there's no issue with visitation. There's no issue with, Kevin being taken care of. He sees his dad all the time. There's no issue.
All right, ma'am, suppose he quits paying child support.
I don't have that issue. He loves his son and spends times with his son all the time. Even when he doesn't, even though he does pay, he still buys clothes, gifts, and whole nine. He's a great dad, so that's not concerned at all. I'm not concerned with stopping payments.
No possibility that that would ever happen.
No, sir.
Like when people get
Me and Dad
married,
actually have a really good relationship.
like when people get married and they love each other and think it's going to last forever, and then all of a sudden something happens and they get a divorce, right? But they never thought they were going to get a divorce. But if they thought that, they wouldn't have gotten married. So things happen, They're
Right. I agree with that. But me and Dad, we have a pretty good relationship. We have an agreement, we have an understanding, and I don't think we're ever going to have an issue with that.
Well, of course you don't, but you might. There's a possibility that you might. So, if you don't want this child support check, I'm going to order child support because if something happens, you're going to be right back here in court requesting child support. So if you don't want the child support, when you get that check, you just turn it over, endorse it, and give it back to him. And you can keep doing what you're doing right now. Right?
So you're saying that he's still going to have to pay?
He will pay child
you
support.
guys?
You will get a check, and you can just turn it over, flip it over, and endorse it and give it back to him if you don't want it.
So there's no other option.
No, I'm going to order child support. There's no question about that because I have had too many cases, exactly the same thing that people tell me. I've been on this bench 18 years and I see it. Oh, I don't want child support. He's a perfect father. He does this and that and the other. And 2 years later, 3 years later, 4 years later, 5 years later, They're back in court because something has happened and he's not paying child support.
Otherwise, a joint
So for
management
18
conservatorship
Do you,
judge.
do you understand? You
this is
understand what
what
I'm
we're
saying?
gonna.
Do you understand what I'm saying, Ms. Pete?
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying, but I still don't agree because you're telling me that for 18 years I'm gonna have to do this.
Do what?
Sign a check over to him through child support. Like you're gonna send me a check
Sure.
and I'm gonna have to send it to him.
Yeah. Hopefully that's the way it'll be. But if something happens, you don't have to send it to him. You have the money there. You know that you're going to be relying on that money every month.
Judge, we have the order ready. We'll send it to the parties.
Well, no, she's not agreeing. I can make an order. I can just make the order.
I mean, if I have a choice, then I guess I have no choice but to agree.
All right, so they'll send you an order, and like I say, you can turn around and just endorse it and give it back to him. All right, so are they going to send you? Are you going to send the order to these people? Mr. Coroner, you have anything you want to say?
I'm just confused how I have no say in none of this. Your Honor, I take care of my son. I make sure. I just don't understand this.
What do you have against having to pay child support?
I don't have anything against paying child support, but what I do have an issue with is if I'm already taking care of my son, I got to pay child support. It got to be an order for me to do this when this is something I'm really doing already.
Well, she's going to give you the money back.
It's not about the money. It's the issue.
All right.
It's the principle. It has nothing to do with the money.
All right. What are the stipulations, Mr.
I'm being
Regla?
ordered. My life is being dictated.
Yes, Judge. Joint management conservatorship, standard possession order, private health insurance, as the father indicated and the mother indicated, private health insurance through the father,
All
and
right.
333 in child support. No.
And visitation,
Standard.
possession, standard possession and access. So far, is that your agreement, Ms. Pete?
He spends half of his time with his dad already anyway.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you don't have to follow that particular order if you can agree to something different. And it sounds to me like you all are doing a good job. He's visiting with this child. That's not a problem, right?
Okay.
And so far, is that your agreement, Ms. Pete?
Yeah.
Mr. Coroner, so far, is that your agreement?
Yes.
All right, then the stipulations are read into the record. And the only matter that has to decide is a matter of child support. Is that correct, Mr. Regla?
And just guideline child support would be 333 per month.
All right, then court orders that the father pay child support in the amount of $333 a month beginning November 1st, 2022. Anything further?
That's all.